It seems that part of adaptable consciousness condition is the neurophysiological applications of consciousness, or the brain-body system, is that the brain will tend to cut off access to autobiographical data, including memory systems and other aspects of neural activity, like dreams or desires or positive emotions or connection with people, etc. Familiarity, like when you go home, there's a sense of, I'm home. Like there's some kind of unconscious emotional sensation you get upon automatically sensing the familiarity of it. Home has a certain feeling, and you know it because when you're at anyone else's house or any other building in the world, it does not have the same feeling that your own home will evoke. And so all of those sorts of things get cut off from present moment connection when there is any sign of stress or fear within the system. And this could be real or perceived stress or fear. And it could be in the mind or the body. And so if the body's in a lot of pain, it can activate it. If the mind is feeling afraid, it can activate it. If the mind is feeling stressed, it can activate it. If the body is experiencing body memories that are associated with pain or fear, it can activate this response. So part of adaptable consciousness condition is this profound miracle where the brain cuts off natural access to autobiographical data when there's any sign of fear or stress within the system. And this explains so many different things, from dissociative. What's the term? We created a term for when you don't recognize familiar faces due to dissociation. I forget the term for it. There's a term for it, and it's just that term. When you can't recognize faces, it's that term, but with dissociative in front of it. Everything from that to like dissociative amnesia and dissociative memory. And it's basically the protector parts creating distance between the present day normal life self and the child parts of consciousness, for what is perceived to be optimal survival. And this is a learned habit that begins in early childhood when the traumatic stress starts, and then it just continues to grow throughout life. And so I'm in the process of retraining my brain that we don't need to be cut off from autobiographical data, that I can still be connected with who I am today and who I have been throughout my life, even when there's signs of stress or fear. And in the process, finding ways to reduce the stress and fear as we go as well. And so managing loving myself into a position of reducing the stress and fear while simultaneously creating connections with my sense of self. And so part of that is having my walls be covered in pictures of who I am and who I have been, along with some affirmations and stuff, like you can see right there. And then watching like old home videos from when I was a kid, whenever I start to feel like really, really disconnected, and moving towards more poetic and musical self-expression rather than just the factual data stuff, can also help, just creating space where it's safe to soften, safe to feel, safe to express, safe to be present with who I truly am, and my very human self, the very, feelings-based creatures, because humans are feelings-based creatures. Thought is very secondary to feelings. A neuroscientist said that, actually. Dr. Judy Taylor, I want to say. I always get her name mixed up. I want to say Dr. Judy Bolt Taylor, but I don't know. And so finding ways to reconnect with my emotional expression can help. And yeah, just a process of retraining my brain that it's safe to feel all the feels and still be like who we are and connected. So yeah, adaptable consciousness condition, a never-ending miracle.